Hello, everyone. Welcome to YakShaver Sprint Review. So the team has been working very hard for preparing the NDC Melbourne. So let's dive into what we've done this week. First of all, the email. Our goal was to finish the end-to-end testing. However, we did find investigated more PBIs that needs to be done during the end-to-end testing. So this is still in progress. In terms of timesheet data, lots of people worked on YakShaver project. Lewis and Steven are full-time. Hajir, me, myself, Tom, and everyone else had work part-time. Here's a list of PBIs. Let's dive into it. So first, we've investigated. We're not to do this one because, Tom, can you give updates on this one?
Yes, this was before we decided to do the extension. So now we're using the extension and this became obsolete and we don't need to do this anymore.
Sure. Next one, Hajir has implemented Chrome extension browser. Hajir, can you give updates on this one?
Sure. So this extension is pushed to Chrome store for review.
Yep.
They would review it and later they will tell us when it is ready. We can test it using the link. It's not going to be published yet. So when we are 100% okay that it is working fine, then we can publish it.
Sure. So there's a separate API key for extension. We're using a second pair of API key that just for the extension. We also added a privacy policy for Chrome extension publish. We also spikes. This is the investigation, the happy path for client sign up. So Lewis, can you give updates on this one?
Yeah, so as a team, we talked about what if someone went up to you and was asking you how would you sign it up? So we talked about so for the main user, which is the person with with no admin access, unfortunately they won't be able to sign up. They'll be blocked by the admin permissions, the global admin permissions. However, if they do have the permissions, they should be able to just follow the wizard, and the wizard should be able to guide them to install the correct things, set up the right integrations, in order to set up YakShaver. We also talked about like an individual path. So an individual path, what are some things that we would need to change for this to also work for individual, not just business and organizations? And this is probably not feasible for NDC. So instead, we came up with a solution for this, which was to create allow the user to join a wait list, and they'll be updated when this feature is released.
Yep. Any questions on that one, Adam?
No, that sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. So next one, end-to-end testing. So we've been keep doing this end-to-end testing. So we decided to close this PBI and then reopen a V2. So the V2 will contains the PBI that we found on the way, so that it doesn't get extended and extended. So this is the V1, and then we have V2 in the next sprint. So next one, client portal is now able to edit the user's nickname and their GitHub username. So that can be done via the client portal. Next one, so we had problems with OpenAI model that wasn't returning proper JSON. So Lewis has done switch on the JSON schema mode. So now it will 100% return the proper JSON. There's a slightly transcription error in the YakShaver video. So this was a little bug. There's also a little bug. Some videos are missing duration metadata. So when it's missing, so we will fetch it, do a different API call or the FFmpeg call to get the duration of the video. So this was done by Lewis. There's a little bug when a new tenant sign up, there's a little GitHub integration issue, and now it's fixed. Josh has done a great job on the website pricing page. So Josh, so this was before the pricing, and now Josh has improved it so that it looks better. And we also got the feature comparison table. So that was the website. And I think this is the UI change on the dashboard. However, Stephen has break it down to multiple PBIs that we'll prioritize later. There's a little bug on the YakShaver wizard. So when the client signed up, although they've completed the wizard will still show when they come back the next time. So now it's fixed. Error when converting email to work item. This is a little bug on during the conversion. Stephen has fixed the bug. And also Stephen has made the option to on and ask first. So now we used to have on and off, and I think the off is a little bit confusing for people. So now we renamed it to ask first. Client portal front end. So the front end now has a little tool cards that's showing what tools do we support. So now we support GitHub, browser extension, and Teams, and all other tools. So when you click the link, it will bring you to the documentation on how to set those tools up. Default video hosting location. So we were hosting the video on YouTube. So now we're switching back to SharePoint. However, there's a in progress PBI that we want to make this configurable. So the user get to choose whether they want to host their video on YouTube or SharePoint. And this can be configured at tenant level or the project level. So for example, we want to upload the Tina videos to Tina's YouTube channel. And the other videos, we want them to stay on the SharePoint. So this will be coming in the coming sprint.
So you think this feature will be delivered in the next sprint?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Who's working on that one?
Myself.
Okay, awesome.
And websites, yeah, we have added the privacy policy. So now it's in the footer link, in the footer. This is a little bug on the backlog URL error handling. On the website, now Josh has implemented a ROI calculation. So on this page, it will show how many hours saved and how many hours. By selecting different plan, you'll be able to calculate how many hours you saved. So this is a great indicator for the user. And browser extension. Is this supposed to be 54, Hajia? Is this the new PBI?
Yes, this is the new one that we have to
that should be in 55, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so that's all the done PBIs. Any questions, Adam?
No, that's awesome work, guys. How many PBIs were completed? That's a lot.
That's a lot, yes.
How many dones do we have?
21.
That's good. Good job.
Right.
Yeah, feeling good.
Right. Code coverage, we've went up 2.5%. So the team members has started adding tests as they go. So we started bumping up the code coverage. We had 2 production releases. The health overview is still looking good, and we've had a few fail requests, and I've looked into them, and I've created a new PBI regarding some of the errors that we had. Monthly usage, Adam is on the top at 40 shaves. Other
Really?
users, we have Matt Weeks, Seth, and Isaac. In terms of roadmap, Melbourne NDC multi-tenancy, we have minus 53%. That's due to because we've added more issues into the epic, and that's why the percentage went down. However, we have plus 36% on the try and not feature, and the remaining stays the same. So our main focus is still on the NDC Melbourne. R&D, Hajir has investigated how to publish Chrome extension on the Chrome store. Lewis also explored how to implement JSON schema with OpenAI API calls. AI tools, we've got Klein with GPT-03. We've got lots of people using Cursor and some of them using ChatGPT. And also the GitHub Copilot. Retrospective.
Using Gemini on Cursor.
Josh?
Anyone using Gemini and Cursor?
Not yet. I just
Not yet?
purchased Cursor subscription, I think mid last week or end last week.
I used to use Gemini. I just haven't gone back. I don't think their 2.5 Pro model is up to standard with 3.7 with Claude 3.7 in terms of the coding benchmarks. So that's just why I haven't switched back.
Is there anyone that would be happy to turn off all that AI stuff and continue working as they were and have somewhat similar productivity?
Not before NDC.
So it is helping everyone significantly enough they wouldn't turn it off.
Yes, I would say definitely. It takes away a lot of like numb things where I would spend time on like doing
like-
some research or some stuff, some weird stuff.
Right. And is there anyone that thinks they probably are putting some junk code in because they're going faster than before?
I always review the code, so
Yeah, we
I'm not
always,
just copying it
Right.
in blindly.
yeah.
Is anybody pulling up other people on PRs because it looks like too much junk code?
I think as long as you're using it in like smaller sections and you're not just asking to throw together full components, full pages, full functionalities, it's easier to maintain that way.
I agree with Josh. That's how I use it. I
Right.
usually I'm very specific with what I need from AI. So it's not like, oh, generate this whole page for me. Except at home on my personal projects.
Right. Okay.
All right, let's go through the retro. So Yuli's happy with, we did another round of end-to-end testing. Stephen and Lewis has start working on the front-end development, and Hadria is pretty happy with it. Yuli has got the pricing options live, and they're looking good. So what went wrong? Caleb lost Copilot access during the sprint. And Lewis said Adam got surprised by the video host change to SharePoint. Tom said we lack of side missions, which take away lots of time. What can we improve? Strongly prioritize the PBI Tom created. And also Lewis said we should have better communication. So we should give warning to the POs for big changes. So less surprise. So far so good, Adam. Are you happy
Yep.
with the retro?
Yes, good.
Okay, let's jump into the planning. So for next spring, we're still focusing on the end-to-end test. Here are a bunch of PBIs that we put into this sprint. So mainly, we want to start sending emails using SendGrid. So this is something we haven't done. So right now, emails are sent using Microsoft account. By using SendGrid, we are enabling some of the marketing features and trackings. So we know how many people have opened this email. We can set up automations to do the email campaign. There are still some work needs to be done on the front-end client portal. So those are cosmetic change as well. So this one, there's a backlink needs to be added to the video description. This is a bug still I'm working on. And also there's a configuration for video hosts and visibility at per project level. And there are some websites, cosmetic change. Any questions, Adam?
All right, that's good.
It's good. All right, so that's all for the next sprint.
Can I just, is there any ones that have double icons on them? And are there any double icons that are not included in here?
Has anyone still seen the double icon? I think we handle all of them, right?
Yeah, okay, that's fantastic.
Okay. So this video will be uploaded to our YakShaver YouTube channel. And we are working hard towards the Melbourne NDC. If you want to see YakShaver action in live, please join us at Melbourne NDC. See you next time.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.